Yo, what's up, everybody? It's Tech Life Weekly, your go to for everything tech, media, and the social media verse. Hope you guys had an awesome 4th of July. We're back with another roundup of the biggest stories this week. From groundbreaking historical events that shaped the tech landscape to the latest product releases and controversies, we've got you covered. And trust me, this week is packed with some interesting developments. So, whether you're a diehard tech enthusiast or just casually scrolling through the internet, stick around. We'll break down everything you need to know. Let's dive right into it. Let's kick things off by taking a trip down memory lane. This week marks the anniversary of a pivotal moment in tech history. On July 2nd, 1953, IBM unveiled the 650, a machine that would forever change the computing landscape. Now, you might be thinking, the 650? What's the big deal? Well, hold on to your hats because this was a game changer. The IBM 650 wasn't just any computer. It was the first mass-produced computer. Imagine a time when computers were these massive, mysterious machines, only accessible to a select few. The 650 changed all that. It was still a beast, weighing in at over a ton and taking up a whole room. But for the first time, businesses and universities could actually afford to get their hands on this revolutionary technology. This was a huge step towards making computing power more accessible to the world. All right, let's fast forward a couple of decades to another iconic tech milestone. This time, we're talking about a device that changed the way we experience music, the Sony Walkman. Picture this. It's July 1st, 1979. The world is introduced to a sleek blue and silver device that fits in the palm of your hand. No, it's not a smartphone. It's the Sony Walkman TPSL-2. This wasn't just a cassette player, it was a revolution in personal music consumption. For the first time, people could take their music with them wherever they went. No more being tethered to bulky record players or boomboxes. The Walkman gave you the freedom to create your own soundtrack to life. Whether you were jogging in the park, commuting to work, or just chilling at home, the Walkman was your constant companion. Now, you might be wondering, what's so special about listening to music on the go? Well, before the Walkman, that was a pretty foreign concept. Music was something you enjoyed in a specific place, at a specific time. The Walkman changed all that. It made music a personal experience. You could listen to your favorite tunes without disturbing others, and you could discover new music at your own pace. This wasn't just about convenience, it was about personalizing your audio experience. The Walkman came with 2 headphone jacks, so you could even share your music with a friend. Remember those days? It was a social experience, a way to connect with others through music. And let's not forget the iconic chunky headphones that came with the Walkman. They became a fashion statement, a symbol of coolness. All right, let's rewind the clock back to the 1950s, a time when computers were these massive room-filling machines about as user-friendly as a brick wall. I mean, we're talking punch cards and vacuum tubes, not exactly the sleek touchscreens and intuitive interfaces we're used to today. Back then, interacting with a computer was a specialized skill, something only scientists and engineers could really wrap their heads around. But things were about to change, and MIT's Whirlwind computer was at the forefront of this revolution. Picture this. It's July 4th, 1956, Independence Day, and while the rest of the country's busy celebrating, a team at MIT is making history. They're introducing a groundbreaking feature on the Whirlwind computer, direct keyboard input. Yeah, you heard that right. No more messing around with punch cards, no more deciphering cryptic code. With this innovation, users could finally communicate with the computer directly, typing in commands and data using a familiar keyboard. This was a game changer, a massive leap towards making computers more accessible and user-friendly. Now you might be thinking, okay, a keyboard, big deal. But trust me, in the context of 1950s computing, this was huge. It's like going from a rotary phone to a smartphone. This seemingly simple addition of a keyboard had a ripple effect throughout the world of computing. It paved the way for the development of more intuitive user interfaces, making it easier for people to learn and use computers. The Whirlwind's keyboard wasn't just about typing in commands, it was about opening up a whole new world of possibilities. It allowed for real-time interaction with the machine, which was crucial for applications like air traffic control. where split-second decisions could mean the difference between a safe landing and a disaster. The legacy of the Whirlwind's keyboard can still be felt today in every computer, smartphone, and tablet we use. It's a testament to the power of innovation and how even seemingly small changes can have a profound impact on the way we interact with technology. The Whirlwind computer itself was a marvel of engineering, pushing the boundaries of what was possible at the time. It was one of the first computers to feature real-time graphics and a video display, laying the groundwork for the graphical user interfaces we take for granted today. But it was the introduction of the keyboard that truly set the stage for the personal computer revolution. It made computers less intimidating and more inviting, encouraging a generation of programmers and engineers to explore the possibilities of this new technology. The Whirlwind's legacy extends far beyond its technical specifications. It represents a pivotal moment in the history of computing, a time when the focus shifted from raw processing power to user experience. It's a reminder that technology is only as good as its ability to connect with and empower people. So the next time you effortlessly type out a message on your phone or navigate a complex software program, take a moment to appreciate the pioneers at MIT who dared to imagine a world where interacting with computers could be as simple and intuitive as typing on a keyboard. Let's jump ahead a few decades to the mid-1990s. The internet, once a niche technology used mostly by academics and researchers, was starting to go mainstream. We're talking dial-up modems, Netscape Navigator, and the early days of the World Wide Web. But even as the internet was connecting people in new and exciting ways, email was still largely confined to the corporate world and universities. If you wanted to check your email back then, you had to be physically tethered to your desktop computer or hope you could find a clunky terminal at your university library. Imagine that for a second. No checking your email on your phone while you wait in line for coffee. No quickly firing off a message during your commute. You were chained to your desk at the mercy of your inbox. That all started to change on July 4th, 1996, when Microsoft launched a little service you might have heard of: Hotmail. This wasn't just another email provider, this was a game changer that would revolutionize the way we communicate. Hotmail was one of the first web-based email services, and it blew the doors wide open for email accessibility. Suddenly, you didn't need to be tethered to a specific computer or rely on your company's IT department to manage your inbox. All you needed was an internet connection, and you could access your email from anywhere in the world. This was huge. It meant you could finally stay connected with friends, family, and colleagues no matter where you were. Whether you were traveling for work, studying abroad, or just hanging out at a friend's house, as long as you could find a computer with internet access, you were good to go. This newfound freedom and flexibility of web-based email was a revelation for many. It broke down geographical barriers and made communication faster, easier, and more convenient than ever before. Hotmail's impact went beyond just convenience, though. By making email accessible to the masses, it helped accelerate the growth of the internet itself. People flocked to the web to sign up for their free Hotmail accounts, eager to experience the magic of electronic communication. Of course, Hotmail wasn't the only player in the game for long. Other web-based email providers like Yahoo Mail and later Gmail emerged, each bringing their own innovations and features to the table. But Hotmail had fired the first shot, proving that there was a massive appetite for accessible and easy-to-use email. The competition between these companies only benefited users, leading to better services, more features, and of course, those ever-growing storage limits. The rise of webmail also had a profound impact on the way we work and communicate. It enabled remote work, allowed for instant collaboration on projects across continents, and fundamentally changed the way we share information. It's hard to imagine a world without web-based email now. It's become such an integral part of our lives, from staying connected with loved ones to managing our daily tasks. And it all started with a simple yet revolutionary idea: to make email accessible to everyone, anywhere, anytime. Now let's shift gears and talk about something a little more current: the ever-evolving world of social media. We've seen the rise and dominance of platforms like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, each with their own strengths and quirks. But in recent years, there's been a growing movement towards something different, something decentralized. This is where platforms like Mastodon and, more recently, Bluesky come in. The idea here is to create a more open and democratic social media experience, one that's not controlled by a single company. Blue Sky, in particular, has been generating a lot of buzz. Founded by Twitter co-founder Jack Dorsey, it's built on a decentralized protocol called the Authenticated Transfer Protocol, or AT protocol for short. Now, I know that sounds technical, but the basic idea is that it allows different social media platforms to communicate with each other, kind of like how email works. So instead of being confined to a single platform, you could have one profile that you use across multiple social networks. Imagine seamlessly switching between different communities and conversations without ever having to log out. That's the promise of Blue Sky and the decentralized social media movement. Bluesky's been in development for a while now, running invite-only beta tests to iron out the kinks. But they recently took a major step forward by launching a feature many users have been eagerly awaiting: direct messages or DMs. Now, I know what you're thinking, DMs? That's not exactly groundbreaking stuff. And you're right, in the grand scheme of things, DMs are pretty standard fare in the social media world. But on Bluesky, DMs represent something more significant. They're a sign that the platform is maturing, moving beyond its early stages and building out the features necessary to compete with the big players. Plus, because Blue Sky is built on a decentralized protocol, there's the potential for DMs to work across different platforms in the future. Imagine sending a DM from Bluesky to someone on Mastodon, or even Instagram. It's a wild idea, but that's the kind of interoperability that decentralized social media promises. And it doesn't stop there. Bluesky also has plans to introduce end-to-end encrypted messaging in the near future. For those unfamiliar, end-to-end encryption means that only the sender and recipient of a message can read its contents, not even Bluesky itself. This focus on privacy is a breath of fresh air in a social media landscape, often dominated by data harvesting and targeted advertising. It gives users more control over their information and puts the emphasis back on private, secure communication. Of course, it remains to be seen whether Blue Sky can truly deliver on its promises and disrupt the social media status quo. Building a decentralized platform that can rival the scale and reach of the giants like Facebook and Twitter is a monumental task. But with its focus on openness, interoperability, and privacy, Blue Sky represents an exciting glimpse into the future of social media. A future where users have more control, more choice, and more freedom to connect and communicate on their own terms. All right, so imagine this. You're on a business trip or maybe a much-needed vacation, and you're checking into your hotel. You're tired, maybe a little jet-lagged, and just want to get to your room. You hand over your ID, maybe swipe your credit card at the kiosk, and boom, you're digitally compromised. That's right, folks. A recent security breach has exposed a vulnerability in hotel check-in computers across the US. We're talking about spyware discreetly installed on these systems, designed to siphon off your personal information. Now, we don't know the full extent of the damage yet, but leaked information could potentially include names, addresses, credit card details, passport numbers, basically everything you hand over during check-in. This is a stark reminder that even seemingly mundane tech interactions can be vulnerable to sophisticated attacks. This situation underscores the importance of cybersecurity awareness, even when you're just trying to relax on a trip. We'll keep you updated as this story develops. But in the meantime, be cautious about what information you share on public devices. Section 2. Protecting yourself. Now, I know some of you might be thinking, great MKBHD, another thing to worry about. And yeah, I get it. But the good news is there are things you can do to protect yourself. First off, consider using contactless check-in options if your hotel offers them. Mobile keys and apps are becoming increasingly common and can minimize your contact with potentially compromised systems. Secondly, keep an eye out for anything suspicious on the computer screen itself. Does the interface look off? Are there any unusual prompts or pop-ups? Trust your instincts. If something feels wrong, it probably is. And of course, regularly check your bank and credit card statements for any unauthorized transactions. Early detection is key to mitigating potential damage from identity theft. Section 3. The bigger picture. This hotel breach is a symptom of a larger problem, the ever-growing threat of cybercrime. As our lives become increasingly intertwined with technology, these attacks are becoming more common and sophisticated. We've seen this before with data breaches affecting major corporations, social media platforms, and even government institutions. The truth is, no one is completely immune, but that doesn't mean we should just accept it. We need stronger security measures, increased awareness, and a collective effort to stay ahead of these threats. Cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility, from individuals to corporations to governments. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and let's make sure we're all doing our part to create a safer digital world. The tech world is no stranger to change, but the past year has been a roller coaster, especially when it comes to employment. Sadly, the wave of tech layoffs that started earlier is still going strong in 2024. We've seen major players like Tesla, Amazon, Google, TikTok, and Microsoft downsizing their workforce, and the ripple effects are being felt across the industry. From software engineers to marketing professionals, talented individuals are finding themselves navigating an uncertain job market. There's no single reason for this trend. Factors like economic uncertainty, overhiring during the pandemic boom, and a renewed focus on profitability are all playing a role. Whatever the cause, the impact is real. It's a tough time for anyone in the tech sector right now, and my thoughts go out to those affected. Section 2. Impact on innovation. Beyond the immediate human cost, there's another concern: the potential impact on innovation. The tech industry thrives on fresh ideas and bold thinking. When talented individuals are let go, it can stifle creativity and slow down the pace of progress. We've seen in the past how economic downturns can lead to leaner teams and a more cautious approach to risk-taking. While this can sometimes lead to greater efficiency, it can also stifle the development of groundbreaking new technologies. It remains to be seen how these layoffs will shape the tech landscape in the long run. Will we see a slowdown in innovation, or will this period of uncertainty lead to a new wave of creative solutions and entrepreneurial ventures? Section 3. Navigating the future. So, what does this mean for the future of tech? Well, it's a complex picture, but one thing's for sure: adaptability is key. For companies, this means being agile, focusing on core strengths, and being prepared to pivot strategies in response to changing market conditions. For individuals, it means constantly updating skills, networking, and being open to new opportunities, even if they fall outside traditional tech roles. The tech industry has always been dynamic, and this period of uncertainty is another reminder that change is the only constant. By embracing adaptability and fostering a culture of continuous learning, both companies and individuals can navigate this evolving landscape and come out stronger on the other side. Remember flip phones? No, I'm not talking about your grandma's Nokia from the 90s. I'm talking about the iconic Motorola Razr, a phone that was basically synonymous with cool back in the day. Well, hold on to your hats, folks, because the Razr is back with a modern twist. Motorola just launched the Razr 50 Ultra in India, and it's packing some serious tech under the hood. We're talking about the Snapdragon 8's Gen 3 SoC. That's Qualcomm's latest and greatest mobile platform. But the real headliner here is that design. Just like the OG Razr, this phone folds in half, giving you a compact form factor when it's closed and a full screen experience when it's open. Section 2. More than just nostalgia. Now, I know what you're thinking. Isn't this just a nostalgia grab? And yeah, there's definitely an element of that. But the Razr 50 Ultra is more than just a throwback. Motorola has packed this phone with features that make it a genuine contender in the premium smartphone market. That 4-inch cover display isn't just for show, it's actually super functional. You can use it to control music, take selfies with the main camera, and even run full-fledged Android apps. And speaking of cameras, the Razr 50 Ultra doesn't disappoint. It's got a dual camera system on the back with a 12MP main sensor and a 13MP ultra-wide lens. Plus, that foldable design means you can prop the phone up for hands-free video calls and creative photography angles. Section 3. The future of foldables? The Motorola Razr 50 Ultra is a fascinating device that blends nostalgia with cutting-edge technology. But it also raises some interesting questions about the future of foldable phones. Are foldables just a niche product for tech enthusiasts, or are they the future of mobile devices? Only time will tell, but the Razr 50 Ultra is a compelling argument for the latter. With its sleek design, powerful specs, and innovative features, the Razr 50 Ultra proves that foldable phones can be both stylish and functional. This is definitely a phone I'm excited to get my hands on and put through its paces. Keep an eye out for my full review coming soon. Zepp Health, known for its wearables and fitness trackers, has just thrown a curveball. They've launched Zepp OS 4, and it's packing some serious AI heat. The big news? It integrates OpenAI's GPT-4o, and that's a game changer. Now, we've seen AI dip its toes into the fitness world before, but this feels different. This isn't just about tracking your steps or calories. Zepp Health is talking about personalized wellness solutions, and that's where things get interesting. Imagine this. Your smartwatch doesn't just tell you you've been slacking on sleep. It actually understands why you're having trouble sleeping and suggests personalized solutions based on your data and GPT-4o's analysis. That's the kind of potential we're talking about here. It's still early days and we'll have to see how well it all works in practice. But Zepp OS 4 with GPT-4o is definitely a sign of things to come in the AI-powered wellness space. So, what does personalized wellness actually mean? Well, it's about tailoring health and wellness recommendations to your specific needs. It's about moving beyond generic advice and getting into the nitty-gritty of what makes you, you. Think about it, we all have different lifestyles, sleep patterns, stress levels, and dietary habits. A one-size-fits-all approach to wellness just doesn't cut it anymore. And that's where AI like GPT-4o comes in. By analyzing your data, from sleep patterns and heart rate variability to activity levels and even your mood, Zepp OS 4 aims to paint a comprehensive picture of your well-being. It's like having a personal wellness coach right on your wrist, constantly learning and adapting to your needs. Of course, data privacy is paramount here. Zepp Health will need to be transparent about how they're using your data and ensure it's protected. But if they can get it right, this could be a major step towards a future of truly personalized wellness. This move by Zepp Health is just the tip of the iceberg. The integration of AI into our lives, especially when it comes to health and wellness, is only going to accelerate. We're already seeing it with AI-powered fitness apps and virtual therapists. But the potential goes far beyond that. Imagine AI helping you manage chronic conditions, personalize your medication, or even predict potential health risks before they arise. That's the kind of future we're talking about. It's a future where technology empowers us to take control of our health and well-being like never before. And while there are certainly challenges to overcome, the possibilities are incredibly exciting. Zepp OS 4 with GPT-4o integration is just one small step in that direction, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a glimpse into a future where AI helps us live healthier, happier, and more fulfilling lives. All right, let's talk about Meta, the company formerly known as Facebook, and their AI practices. They've confirmed that they're using public posts from Facebook and Instagram to train their AI systems. No surprise there, right? But this revelation has sparked a whole new wave of debate about user privacy and how our data is being used. Now, Meta argues that using public data is fair game. They say it's essential for training their AI models to do things like, identify harmful content and prevent the spread of misinformation, and to some extent that makes sense. AI needs data to learn, right? But here's the thing, even if your posts are public, do you really consent to them being used to train AI systems? It's a bit of a gray area. We all know Meta collects a ton of data, but this feels different. It raises questions about how much control we really have over our digital footprint. And let's be real, Meta hasn't exactly been a shining beacon of trust when it comes to user data in the past. Remember Cambridge Analytica? Yeah, that whole scandal really shook people's faith in how the company handles our information. This whole situation highlights the tightrope walk tech companies are doing these days. They need massive data sets to train their AI models, but they also need to respect user privacy. It's a delicate balance, and it's one that Meta, and frankly, the entire tech industry, is still figuring out. On one hand, AI has the potential to do a lot of good. It can help us filter out harmful content, personalize our online experiences, and even connect with others in meaningful ways. But on the other hand, we need to be cautious about how this technology is developed and deployed. We need clear guidelines and regulations that protect user privacy while still allowing for innovation. And just as importantly, we need transparency from companies like Meta about how they're using our data. It's not an easy problem to solve, but it's a conversation we need to keep having, because the future of AI is inextricably linked to the future of our privacy. So what can you do as a user? Well, the first step is to be aware of the situation. Understand that when you post something publicly online, there's a chance it could be used to train AI systems. And that might not sit well with everyone. If you're concerned about your privacy, You can always adjust your privacy settings on Facebook and Instagram. You can limit the reach of your posts or even choose to share content only with close friends and family. But ultimately, it comes down to making informed choices about what you share online. Think about your digital footprint and how you want your data to be used. And if you're not comfortable with something, don't share it. This whole situation with Meta is a good reminder that we need to be mindful of our digital lives. Because in the age of AI, our data is more valuable than ever, and it's up to us to protect it. Pinterest, the platform known for its endless feed of visual inspiration, is embracing the power of niche communities. They've launched a new campaign highlighting how users can discover and connect with others who share their specific interests. It's all about celebrating the beauty of finding your tribe, even if it's based on something as specific as vintage typewriter repair or miniature dachshund fashion. This campaign is a departure from the broader approach we've seen from platforms like Instagram and TikTok, which often prioritize viral trends and mainstream content. Pinterest is leaning into the idea that true engagement comes from connecting with people who truly get you, no matter how unique your passions may be. They're really pushing this message across all their platforms, from their social media channels to in-app notifications. It'll be interesting to see how users respond to this focus on niche communities, and if it translates into increased engagement for the platform. Ultimately, Pinterest is betting on the idea that in a world saturated with generic content, people are craving spaces where they can geek out about their passions, no matter how obscure they might seem. Central to this campaign is Pinterest's recommendation algorithm, which is designed to surface content that aligns with your specific interests. As you interact with pins and boards, the algorithm learns your preferences and tailors your feed accordingly. This creates a self-reinforcing loop where the more you engage with niche content, the more likely you are to discover even more hidden gems within that community. It's all about creating a space where users feel seen and understood, where their unique interests are not only acknowledged but celebrated. This, in turn, fosters a sense of belonging and encourages users to engage more deeply with the platform and its community. It transforms Pinterest from a simple content discovery platform into a vibrant social network where users can connect with like-minded individuals, share their passions, and build meaningful relationships. It'll be interesting to see how this campaign unfolds and if Pinterest's bet on niche communities will pay off. Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. Pinterest is tapping into a powerful desire for connection and belonging, a need that's only amplified in our increasingly fragmented digital world. Instagram is at it again, always experimenting with new ways to keep us glued to our screens. This time, they're taking a page from the early 2000s. Remember those Tamagotchi digital pets? Well, get ready for their modern-day reincarnation, virtual pets for Instagram stories. The basic idea is simple. You get a virtual pet that lives on your stories. The catch? Its appearance changes based on the number of likes your posts receive. More likes equal a happier, more evolved pet. Essentially, it's a gamified system designed to incentivize engagement. Now, this isn't the first time Instagram has experimented with features that tap into our competitive spirit. Remember the infamous following tab that showed every single like and comment your followers were dishing out? Yeah, that didn't go so well. It created a breeding ground for anxiety and FOMO. So the big question is, will this virtual pet experiment suffer the same fate? Will it turn into another metric for comparison, fueling our insecurities and need for validation? Or could it be a fun, harmless way to boost engagement and add a touch of nostalgia to our stories? Will they implement safeguards to prevent unhealthy competition and promote a positive user experience? Or will this experiment be another reminder that social media platforms often prioritize engagement over the well-being of their users? One thing's for sure, Instagram knows how to tap into our nostalgic tendencies. By introducing a virtual pet feature, they're tapping into that nostalgia, hoping to elicit a sense of familiarity and excitement among their user base. It's a clever way to re-engage users and generate buzz around a new feature, even if it is a bit manipulative. Only time will tell if this nostalgic play will pay off for Instagram. Will users embrace these digital companions, or will they see them as a cheap gimmick? It'll be interesting to see how this experiment unfolds, and whether it has the staying power to become a permanent fixture in the Instagram universe. That wraps up this week's Tech News Roundup. From Pinterest's niche community push to Instagram's virtual pet experiment, it's clear that social media platforms are constantly evolving, trying new things, and let's be honest, constantly vying for our attention. What did you think of this week's biggest stories? Are you excited about the prospect of finding your tribe on Pinterest or caring for a virtual pet on Instagram? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe for more tech news and insights delivered right to your feed every